everybody, Julie here from Mostly Caffeinated. I've noticed a need on the internet, a need for instructions about how to fold a fitted sheet. This was kind of inspired by Kimmy from She's in Her Apron because she was trying to find tutorials online for doing it, and apparently those weren't very good. So I'm going to take a stab. I am a teacher and I've been folding fitted sheets since I was a child and my mom taught me. So I thought maybe I could help some people. Here we go. I'm using a crib sheet for my demonstration just so that the whole thing fits in the frame, but this will work with any size sheet. If it's really long, you might want to lay it on your bed or on the floor because a king size sheet is going to be 6 feet long. And unless you're 6 feet tall, your arms are not 6 feet long. So, but anything smaller than a king size you can do standing up like this. Now, here's the situation with a fitted sheet. It would be a rectangle. If it weren't for the elastic, this is a rectangular piece of fabric, just like your regular sheet. So when you think about folding it, you'd fold it just like a towel or a regular sheet. You want to get it in half and in half again, and you want the corners to be square. That's what you want here. The problem is there's this hangy, stretchy stuff that makes it kind of hard. If you pull it, you can start to see that, okay, the top is kind of a rectangle. Now think of this like the top of your towel. You would naturally want to fold this in half. So do it. Stretch it out. Fold it in half. Great. And now this springy part, you just kind of tuck so that it actually is touching itself on the other side. Okay? Not so bad. And you go down to the other end. You got the same situation. You want this to be flat so you can fold it in half. So do it. Stretch it out. Put your chin in there. Okay. And then all this bunchy stuff up here, you want that to all touch. So just kind of tuck. Okay. Now I'm going to hold up the fold part here for you. And we'll see what that looks like. We've got the long folded edge down the middle of our sheet. And we folded it in half. That whole long elastic edge, it's all touching. The corners are touching. Okay, great. So now, naturally, what you want to do, what you'd do if it were a towel or a flat sheet or a piece of paper, you'd fold the whole thing in half. So do it. Grab the whole thing like it's a rectangle. Fold it in half. Okay. Now you've got a normal looking side over here and a bunchy side over here. So same thing as before. You take one bunchy corner and you tuck it into the other bunchy corner. So now you've got it all laying flat and touching. It's all nice over here and this bunchy part's just all tucked into itself. Okay, so you got two normal corners, an almost normal corner, and then a bunchy corner. That's how it should be. Now you gotta deal with this bunch now. Okay, and see what it's naturally wanting to do. It'll do this if you have this laying flat on a table too. It naturally wants to pull itself up here. The elastic is pulling it. That's great. That's where you want to put it. It's naturally pulling itself up like this. And if it were up like this, oh look, this would be a real corner. Cool. So let's just let it do that. Let it pull itself up there like that. And then this bunchy stuff kind of wants to do the same thing. Of course, kind of wants to go up here. And look, if it did that, we'd have a much more rectangular shape. So have it do that. If you're flat on the surface, it'll be a little easier. It'll stay like this. But just tuck up all this curvy stuff, okay, all the elasticized stuff, until you've got a rectangle shape. Now, the natural thing to do if you have a rectangle like this would be you'd want to fold it. Okay, so do it. Fold it in half. Oh, look, it's a rectangle. And then fold this thing in half. It's a rectangle. Okay. And what you'll have is a pretty flat situation on one side, and it's almost flat over here. It's not going to look exactly like your flat sheet. There is going to be kind of a rounded part or a part that looks kind of gathered. You can't avoid that. There's elastic on your sheet. But hopefully you've got something close enough that it stacks with the rest of your stuff just like that. I'm going to show you one more time with a little less talking. Okay. You wish this thing were a rectangle. So you take the short end, stretch it out, fold it in half, like if it were a towel. You kind of tuck, tuck, tuck in the elastic part. Okay. Go down to the other end. Pretend it was a rectangle. Stretch it out, fold it in half, kind of tuck, tuck, tuck. Okay. Now you've got this part. You wish this were a rectangle, you could just fold it in half. Okay. Got a normal side. You want this stuff to touch, so take one chunk and tuck it in the other one. Okay. Got a normal side. And this is naturally wanting to pull itself like this. So let it do it. And it naturally wants to pull itself like this. So you let it do it. And now it's a cool rectangle. Fold that part in half. Fold this part in half. And it's pretty rectangular when you're done. I hope that helps you. See you around.